Story time, guys. I want to share with you all an story time while I'm in the bed, right? So y'all go get comfortable. 'Cause I want to talk about or share with you all my experience when I would go to Mississippi back in the 70s and the 80s. I would go down to the Delta in a town called Swan Lake, which the surrounding towns was Glendora, Webb, and Greenwood, Mississippi. And my grandparents had some neighbors, and I just remember that it would be a house full of kids. If they lived there, I don't know. If they were related, I don't know. I just know when we would go down there, it would be a flock of kids at that house. Okay. And my grandparents at that time, they had three younger kids that were at home. But I believe at that time they could have been teenagers, you know, early teens. However, there was a girl, and I'm going to call her by name because I am angry. And I understand we were kids. I understand that. But I'm still in my feelings about it. And you could call it trauma. But anyway, down there in Mississippi, it's just a energy there that I feel, that I know you don't go down there playing. You visit who you gonna visit. You mind your business. You yes ma'am and no ma'am, regardless if they black or white. You better act like you got some sense. No one had to tell me this. My parents did not have to teach me this. This is just something that was understood. Okay? Now, getting back to this Carol, I must say I could have been around 7. I wouldn't even give myself 8 years old. I wouldn't even give myself 8 years old. Um, she asked me to go to the store with her up in Glendora. So we walked. That was one hellish walk with that child. And I have to mention, when these Mississippians knew Chicago was down there, they would try to intimidate us and manipulate us. We supposed to be the city slickers. We supposed to be up on game. But honey, at that time and at that age, if they had us, that's a misconception about up north or the northerners. So anyway, the story. Can't get to the story. We walking. Here comes a white man on a motorcycle. He way down the street of the road. I don't know what's going on. I'm oblivious to what's going on, right? Here comes so and so on the motorcycle. He's a racist. I even had sense enough to know what that was without anyone telling me, without being educated on it. He's a racist. We better get out the way before he run us over on his motorcycle. So we jumps down in the ditch. You cannot tell me when that man rode by, she did not holler out, "Honky!" I was frightened because I just knew that he was going to imitate us. I just knew he was going to stop and put hands on us. Not her, but me. But he kept riding. We jump out of the ditch, get back on the road, we're walking. A snake shedded its skin. She told me if I step on it, I would turn into a snake. I was petrified. I couldn't jump no higher because I didn't want to turn into a snake. As we walked to the store, continue on our little journey, there were two white tanks, two big white tanks. I don't know what they are, but I know when we would go to the store, those tanks was there. She told me something along the lines of those tanks will kill you. I quite don't remember the tank situation, but it was something along the lines of if you go near it, if you touch it, if you throw something at it, it contains some type of gas or fume, it'll kill you. So now I'm scared to go past the tanks. That was the longest walk. The walk was already long, but it appeared longer because just about everything along the way will hurt you. I was so happy to get back home, I didn't know what to do. I immediately ran to my mother. The first thing that I asked her was, "Mama, if I step on a snake's skin, will I turn into a snake?" At that time, when Carol told me that, I just wanted to get back to my mother. If I turned into a snake, how am I going to get back to my mama? So, like I said, I immediately ran to my mama. "Mama, can I turn into a snake if I were to step on snake skin?" She chuckled. She said no. That brought me relief, comfort, and joy. Did not fool with Carol no more. If I saw her today, and I know that I know better now, and I don't think I can be manipulated. I don't think. But in my opinion, if you were that way as a child, you that way as an adult. I can't trust you. You got a trick up your sleeve. Nah, that ain't no childhood, nothing. I know people. I know these people. If you were that way as a child, you're that way as an adult. I can't fool with you. The reason why I'm telling you this story is because it just seems like to me, with me hanging around Mississippi and Alabama, just in the southern states, that they come with these stories, and they stories. But these are stories that you never heard of, stories that you don't know that is true or not. My dad still tell this story to this day, coming out of Alabama, that somebody told him, or he heard somebody went fishing and some type of fish came walking up out the water. He tell that story. I may not be telling it right, but it's something about somebody went fishing, caught something or whatever, and this fish, life size, human fish, like, come walking up out the water. Okay. Anyway, and it's supposed to be true. They play a lot, is what I learned, what I witnessed. They play a lot. They tell you these old stories. They number one thing is to frighten you. I wonder, and I could be reaching. I could be reaching, and I know that it's old. And there's a possibility that everyone has gone on to glory. But I have to say this. My grandparents lived on a plantation in Swan Lake. It was just 2 or 3 houses on that land that was owned by a white man. Of course. And I'm not sure if the white man died or he sold the plantation, but my folks had to leave. I'm not sure if they left before he sold it or they left because he sold it. I just know it was sold and they were gone. So they relocated to Ruleville, Mississippi, Ruleville. And up the road from Ruleville is Drew, Mississippi. And one of the family members reached out to the family to let us know that the barn that Emmett Till was tortured and possibly murdered is around there. I'm not saying in Drew, but in the vicinity. I said the next time I go down there, I'm going to visit that barn. I want to feel the energy. And I know the energy of everyone that was there. I know it's not a good energy. I know if Emmett Till was still alive, he would be my elder. But because he's forever 14, he's my baby. And I want to go and be with his spirit. Because them black men that was there did not do anything to help him. They were a part of the problem. I saw on a documentary the cotton gin. That baby's body was tied to. When I listened to the documentary, the young boys, his cousins, his family members that was with him, that was at the store with him, knew he was special. Whatever that means, let you draw your conclusion. If he was special, well, why did y'all leave him in the store? This is not what I'm saying. This is from the documentary. And when one of the family members said he was told to go in the store and check on him, you saw him pay for his items and he left. It's been reported that he whistled at the white lady. Then it was said that he whistled because he had a speech impediment. According to the Emmett Till movie, he was talking pretty good to me. No speech impairment. No speech impairment. It was said in the movie that the boys agreed amongst themselves not to tell their parents, the uncle. We're going to sweep this under the rug. For those who live down there know damn well you don't sweep that under the rug. You know the outcome. You know the severity. You knew. This is my conclusion. Because them Mississippian kids play games and tell stories, I believe one of them did something and they put it on Emmett. If he was special because he don't know, being from where I'm from, Chicago, he didn't know. And they went on. And then they came and got Emmett. One of the cousins from Chicago, he had a blank look on his face. Now he's a grown old man. He had a blank look on his face, not looking into the camera, staring off as if he was special. But no, he not special. He is giving an account of what happened, traumatized, trying to be careful with what he say because he know what really happened. It is documented in the movie, shown in the movie, that he went in his wallet, had a picture of a white woman in his wallet, showed the lady, admiring the woman. And then when he got out the store, he turned around and whistled. How you know this? I never heard that part. And if this man, young fella, going down south, I know that mama didn't send him down there with no picture of no white woman in his wallet. That boy, in my heart, in my spirit, is telling me he was not the one that was supposed to take that punishment. The father, the uncle, gave an account of the white and black people at the door going through the house. It is documented that the aunt told the people at the door, I will give you some money. To not to take your boys. Take the dumb one. I'm just saying, this is what my spirit is telling me, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Her only son. You about took the money and took the boy. And when the aunt came to the funeral, she couldn't hardly look at Emmett's mother. And the way she broke down, guilt. And I understand your child was in my care and I couldn't do nothing about it. Guilt. One of the neighbors, black woman, said why they did not get him to Grenada and put that boy back on the train. If they did not tell the parents, it's, be, it's because they had their kids had some kind of involvement. We're not telling daddy. And if it come out, we're going to put it on him. Nice looking boy. Put it on him. The mother gave him the talk. It's in the movie. Gave him the talk. I listened to the mother documentary giving an account. She gave him the talk. Y'all, it be your own people. Now, they have footage of the white woman alive. Nobody put hands on her. You know, I would like to believe that she had to live with that. But the smile, the jeering of them being found not guilty was another blow to the black community and to his mother. You do this and get off. Just, I mean, the same thing that we're dealing with today. And if you want to know, like I know, the murder of Emmett Till, to me, that wasn't long ago. Emmett was born in 41. My dad was born in 42. My dad is still here, 83 years old. So that would have put Emmett at what, 84, 85, 84. That's my story. Let me know what you think. Share with me what you know. I don't mean no harm, but this is just my thought. And some of the information that I gave, you could watch the movie, you can watch any documentary on Mamie Till Mobley or Mobley, where she's telling her story. The family members, the boys that was there telling their story, the neighbors that was there giving their account of what happened. Another thing, what is the fascination that white man has over a black man genitalia? Why were they always mutilating the black man genitalia, castrating? They tortured that boy. What was the purpose of them cutting off his penis, a 14-year-old? What was the purpose of cutting off a 14-year-old penis? What was the purpose of cutting his tongue? It was said his tongue was cut. When the mother gave her account, his tongue was out. Why was his eye on his face? Ears gone, shot in the head. Mamie Till said they took a axe and split him. Why? I mean, it's over and done. No one can tell me why. August 28th, 1955. I say I'll remember that for the rest of my life. Until next time, love yourself, take care of yourself, and be kind to yourself.